Okay, so now let's talk about the four goals in the life of a Hindu person. Again, these are all goals that are going to have to do with what caste you're in. They're going to have to do with what stage of life you're in. So, for instance, the first goal here is called kama, and kama means pleasure. You may have heard of this term in a book, a scripture actually, called the Kama Sutra, which means sutra means scripture, kama means pleasure, so the scripture of pleasure. It was kind of a pleasure manual of two people who were in the householder stage, just married, how to give pleasure, intimate, physical, sexual pleasure to your partner. And this is seen as in Hindu life a very high and noble goal, right? There's nothing sort of like dirty or nasty or any of this kind of stuff about it. And it's not something that's seen as pornographic, even this image you see here of a temple, which partly is dedicated to this goal of kama and pleasure. And it looks like some sort of orgy or something going on. And it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a very beautiful, sort of over the top, but descriptive, expressive of this energy, which is kama, which is beautiful. So it's not that the Hindus encourage this sort of thing literally in real life, but it would be like just an artistic expression of this pleasure that is sought, okay, that is sought as a goal. Okay, so four goals, one of them is pleasure. To enjoy the blessings of life in every sense, okay, so not sensual pleasure, not just in the sexual sense, but in every sense, smelling the roses, the coffee, enjoying a football game, whatever it might be. All of this is celebration. It's wonderful. It's good. Within the limits, again, of dharma. Okay, dharma is your ethical duty. So you're married to this one person. You're not to cheat on all these people. You're enjoying good food, but don't be a glutton. And this kind of thing. You can enjoy the blessings, material blessings of life, and see them as blessings that come from your past life. And so there's nothing to feel guilty about. You can enjoy them, but again, within limits, right? You don't want to be a greedy person just because you have material goods. So all these things kind of hang together. Likewise, if you don't have these material blessings because you're maybe lower caste and your life is more difficult, it's more drudgery and work, uh, to be patient with this and to know that this will come later and to sort of yearn for it at the same time enjoy the simple pleasures of life. And of course, the sexual pleasure would be for everyone, and this is quite celebrated. Okay, then the other goal, or one of the other goals, is artha. Artha is material success, which is not something that's like, oh, I'm materially successful, so I should feel a little bit like guilty or not like flaunt that or something like that. No, material blessings are blessings from karma, right? From the past deeds that you've done, and it's yielded this. Just like if someone works hard, they are materially successful, let's say, uh, and they have social prestige, power, to do good things, etc. All this is good. All this is wonderful within dharma, right? So you don't want to go out of those bounds, those ethical bounds. And again, dharma is one of the goals that coincides or goes along with all this thing. So harmony with dharma is key. You might notice this strange symbol here, which we associate with Nazis. The swastika. The swastika was a sign, and you see it also on the elephant's hand held up in blessing. This is the elephant god Ganesh, and Ganesh is holding his hand in blessing and prosperity. Right, so this is all a wonderful thing. It's kind of got these four quadrants with the circle, with the dots in them. Very harmonious kind of symbol. We don't think of it this way, but this is the way things get twisted. So it's a Hindu symbol. You'll find this all over temples and so forth, and symbolizes the harmony and blessing of Dharma. The fourth goal and the ultimate goal is, of course, what we discussed early on, which is moksha. Okay, you see here a picture of sort of the sunset of one's life when one has had material success, enjoyed pleasures with another person one loves, and a great, wonderful life within being a good person, ethical duty, one is ultimately pushing toward, and this is why they go out in the forest and focus on the spiritual life toward the end of their life, because moksha, this liberation from just this world, this material world, is what's sought. Okay, so ultimately the goal is to get out of that and let your being not be just this little being in this world, but the infinite being, the infinite mind, the mind indeed of the whole universe, in which we are one in that sense of Brahma, which we'd studied early on. So this is a little bit about the castes, the stages, and the goals in life. And I hope this hangs together. We'll talk about this in class and discuss.